Hey, this is Scott Jones coming to you with another installment of Magic One-on-One. And today our topic will be voodoo. Yes, voodoo, dolls, pins, and needles. You see a lot of things about voodoo on TV, but we're going to discuss some fundamental things about it in terms of a magical system. The word voodoo comes from the word vadoon, which means deity, spirit or entity or even demon. And it's linked to a tribe of people, two people, called the Iwi, EWE, and the Fawn people, Fon. And you may know the Fawn people by another name, Dahomey, Dahomey. And voodoo, it's in terms of magic, it's a lot like witchcraft. And that is not only just about magic, it's a religion followed by thousands, if not millions of people. But in terms of just a magical system, voodoo, its core principle is based on this. There are entities known as loas, which occupy a part of the underworld known as guaini. And guaini is a type of watery abyss where the loas of the spirits reside. And these loas are like the angels of Christianity, in the sense that you call upon them for help or assistance. And the main Loa is Papa Legba. Matter of fact, the three main forces of voodoo are Mawu, Lisa, and Legba. When you call upon them three, it opens you up to the other Loas or voodoo spirits. And these voodoo spirits have a god or goddess over them. Well, one name of the god is a serpent god named Danbala. His name is Danballah, Danbala. You may also see it spelled as Damballa, Damballah. Another entity is a female goddess named, I believe, Nana Boluku. Nanabuluku. And these two entities, Nanabuluku and Danbala, the serpent god, preside over the Loas or voodoo spirits. And basically it is this. You go to a voodoo temple and the voodoo priest, if he's a man, he's a houngan. If it is a woman, it's a mambo. The voodoo priest invokes Papa Legba, a lot of drumming, a lot of music. And then one of the members of the church, the voodoo church, if you will, undergoes something called Chawil, Chwl. And this is basically a phenomenon where you're possessed by the Loa. You know, they call it being ridden, as if you're a horse and the Loa is riding you. You become possessed by it. And this is how it works. Let's say you don't know how to swim and you get in a bad situation where, you know, you're drowning or you need some help. You don't know how to swim, but the Loa does. So when you invoke your Loa, he helps you swim to get out of the situation. So basically the Loas give you abilities and powers that normally you wouldn't have. You understand? And you must become possessed by them for this to happen. Well, the voodoo priest or priestess and the voodoo people, all the drumming, all the ritual is basically focused on that to happen, for you to become possessed by a Loa so as to give you magical assistance. And then there's all types of sacrifices made to the Loas. Some of them like candy, some of them like rum. You understand what I'm saying? And there are a couple of famous Loas that stand right out. One of them is Baron Samedi, and he's the Loa, the voodoo character you see with the top hat and the face of a skeleton. Well, he is Lord of the Dead, you know, Lord of the cemeteries, and his day is Saturday. And then there's one called Urzuli Frida, and she is like real beautiful, and she can bring you money, love, sex, you understand? They also say she's the guardian Loa of like homosexuals and lesbians. And then there's, of course, Legba. He's the main Loa, and he governs crossroads, you know. He gets you hooked up to the spirit world. Think of him as like Mercury. He introduces you to other things. You understand? Now, voodoo also has its sorcerers, A sorcerer, if he's a man, is a bokor, Bokor, and if it's a woman, it's I believe, I hope I'm saying this right, kapalata, and that's basically like a voodoo witch. Now the difference between them and the priest and priestess is that bokors and kapalatas, when they work voodoo, it's strictly for curses. So that's where you get your, sticking your pen in the doll and trying to get somebody to die through death magic. They're the ones who basically do that. So as a practitioner of voodoo, you have to understand your main thing is to get in tune with the Loas, to form a relationship with them. So when you need them, they can come and help you. But I must tell you, the Loas are from the underworld, and voodoo is based on that. And my occult experience of it is that they're dangerous. But if you can form a relationship with them, and if that is your system, I'm not going to judge. I'm just laying out some truths for you. Voodoo, like Wicca, is about giving underworld spirits something in exchange for their services to help you. That's the core principle of those magical systems. Well, I will be getting more into voodoo because it's something that you really need to learn about if you're a practical magician. And also Wicca. But I will, because these things cannot just be summed up in just a few minutes. You understand? There are a lot of people who practice voodoo who will see this video and tell you, hey, this guy, he's not telling it all. Well, I don't know it all. But what I do know, I'm telling you. So voodoo is about getting in contact with the Loas through ritual, through drums, through music. And then the Loas help you when you need them. And but in order for that to happen, they must possess you. And that has all types of difficulties that come with it. Well, I've given you what I can. More is to come. This is Scott Jones. Talk to you later.